GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Look, you want the truth? Okay, then listen in. My first lick.
This is the Listen In Podcast with your hosts, John Cimino and Brandon Garrell, here on the Gear Radio Network.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Listen In Podcast, once again for ya. How's it going, everybody? My name is John Cimino at I am JC Money on the Twitter, joined by, of course, my co-host, the one and only Mr. Brandon Garrell at Brandon S. Garrell on Twitter. Brandon, say hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yes, we're on the air now, Brandon.
We are.
Yes. As always, you can support this and all podcasts when you listen to this podcast, start to finish, including the commercials. It's very, very important. And you can find us on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and now, breaking just this week, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Pandora now. So and it's yet another place you can find this and the rest of the Gear Network roster of podcasts. On today's show, Brandon, my beloved New York Jets are abysmal. And we are going to talk about that Monday Night Football just atrocity that happened last night as a press recording. But of course, with that, we're down to two. We're still at two undefeated teams, and both made some significant upgrades at wide receiver. We'll talk a little bit about that. And Brandon, your boy Aaron Rodgers, still a bad man. Oh, yeah. But so let's go ahead. I'm gonna actually turn this music down here. We're breaking down the wall. We're trialing something new here with regards to sounds and the podcast. Not that any of you give a crap, but I give a crap. So, anyways, Brandon, how is it going, my man?
It's going good, man. Watching two screens here. I got the podcast up in one, and then I got the Penguins game in the other. Wish the Pens were doing a little better. Getting close to this tying goal here. Only a couple minutes left. But I'm feeling good after watching the Packers on Sunday. That was a complete effort for sure.
Oh, we'll definitely talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that a little bit later on in the podcast. But I can tell you right now, I did not feel that euphoria one bit that you felt because the Jets, Brandon, probably.
As soon as that music hit, dun, 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 and
it was
like,
done.
All right, I'm turning this off.
It was done. It was done.
The morale is over.
Probably, Brandon, the worst coached game I've ever seen in the history of my fandom as a New York Jets fan. And I'm just gonna go through a little bit of a line right here, the stat line here or whatever. They lost. Of course.
Yep.
In what I would call spectacular fashion. This made the butt fumble. I feel this was not even a butt fumble level because at least you can laugh at the butt fumble. This was terrible. This was terrible. The Jets lost to the undefeated Patriots 33-0 on Monday Night Football. The Patriots have won, Brandon, 17 out of their last 19 games against the New York Jets. Sam Darnold was 11 of 32 for 86 yards with 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Le'Veon Bell, 15 attempts at 70 yards. Now, the Jets' deficiencies aside, I don't want to take away from the historically good New England Patriots defense. Now, just speaking specifically with the two games that they've played against the Jets this year, Brandon, do you know how many points that Patriots defense has allowed against the Jets this year?
0?
2.
2 against the Jets?
2 points the Patriots defense have allowed against the Jets in both games.
Oh, wow.
It was the offense that gave up the rest of the points in that first game. But the Patriots defense have only allowed just 2 points against a professional football team. They played twice. But what's more, overall, Brandon, this defense has a grand total of, at the halfway mark, 18 interceptions, 4 fumble recoveries, and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's not just pretty good. That's historic. This defense is doing things that very seldom get done as far as defenses go. But I want to play a little. I want to play a little clip here from the morning show on ESPN called Get Up. It's from it's from the host Mike Greenberg, whom happens to be a New York Jets fan as well, and so he shares the same pain that I do with regards to the New York Jets. I'm going to air this really quickly and take a listen, Brandon, and take a listen to everybody else that's listening here, because I want to see if Greeny's comments are spot on or if he's just overreacting like I might here. Take a listen.
And look, Sam Darnold was bad last night. There's no question about it. Bill Belichick has made young quarterbacks look bad for a very long time. But last night, to me, as a lifelong fan of this team, was much more about the coach than it was about anything else. I was willing to give Adam Gase a pass through the 2 weeks of non-existence that was the Luke Falk era, because I figured maybe no one could coach that. But last night was one of the worst coaching performances I've ever seen in my life, because all I am is a fan, and I can see he's not helping Sam Darnold out there. You guys are experts, and you can explain how. But when your young quarterback, around whom you are building an entire franchise, is saying on national television, I'm seeing ghosts out there, and you still have him out there down 33-0 against the Patriots and Bill Belichick, in my opinion, and I'm not kidding when I say this, there was a one-and-done coach in the NFL last year in Arizona, and I believe Adam Gase is going to be the same with the Jets this year. That was an embarrassing performance in every way.
There was a one-and-done coach in Arizona last year, and he believes that Adam Gase will be the same this year. Hard to argue that. Brandon, is Mike Greenberg right?
Oh, absolutely. It's not even close. Like, this guy is pretty inept, which kind of makes me laugh because it makes me think, like, how bad are the Cowboys? If they lost to this Jets team. I mean, it's not like Adam Gase, was a good coach last week and he's been terrible the rest of the weeks. I mean, he's just been terrible all along. He was terrible in Miami. I just don't understand the hire in the first place, but I guess we were able to see, and they got some new players, and it just went off the rails right away. I mean, they choked it away against the Bills, and then Darnold gets mono and other guys go down, and it just continues to go downhill, and you think, okay, well, they're getting healthy now. That means maybe they'll start playing. And then you think, and you see the Dallas game and you're like, wow, they are actually, not totally inept. They actually have some skills here and they may put something together. Who knows? And then last night happened and it was like, oof. I mean, the Pats are good. I caution to kind of put the Pats in like historic categories because they've also had a pretty cupcakey schedule to start the season too. They've got some tough ones coming up soon. But I mean, they're playing well and they're winning the games they're supposed to win. Mm-hmm. But I was having this conversation earlier about a different thing, and it just, power rankings are pretty much the same way when you look at it. Like, if you look at a team and you're like, okay, yeah, they've got this many wins, but then you have another team that has this many wins too, or close to as many wins, but they've beat good teams. Whereas you look at the teams that the Patriots have beat, they've beaten the Steelers, Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Redskins, Giants, and Jets again. The toughest game they had was against Buffalo, where they won by a touchdown. And who knows what would have happened if Josh Allen doesn't go out with a concussion in that game. They might have an L on the board. Mm-hmm. But they've got some tough games coming up. I mean, the Browns will give them more life than some of these other teams that they've faced recently, like the Redskins, Giants, and Jets. Mm-hmm. But then they have a game at the Ravens. They got a game at the Eagles, which the Eagles are so banged up right now. I mean, they're a hot mess too. But then they're home for the Cowboys, and they're at the Texans, and then they're home for the Chiefs, and Mahomes will be back by then. And then they finish it off with the Bengals, Bills, and Dolphins. So they've got a little stretch in there where they've got some competition to kind of see how good they are. I mean, they're really good. I'm not discounting that one bit. Right. But I don't want to say that this is the 86 Bears because they are playing some pretty garbage teams right now.
Yeah, that's true. And to go back to the Adam Gase thing, I was not a fan of the hire to begin with.
No, I mean, once he came out with those googly eyes, I mean, it was it's pretty much a wrap right there.
Yeah, that was pretty much it as far as that goes. But I look at it like this because I sit here and hindsight's always 20/20, and you can always look back and be like, well, this is what they should have done. But it's true. Mike McCarthy, for whatever he was, to you towards the very end as a Packers fan, having him as the head coach there, there's no dancing around the fact that he got the best out of Brett Favre. He rejuvenated Brett Favre. He drafted Aaron Rodgers. He got Aaron Rodgers.
He got stale.
Yes, he got stale. But regardless of whether or not he got stale, he had the Packers in contention just about every year that Aaron Rodgers was healthy. He helped develop Aaron Rodgers. They won a Super Bowl together. And yes, he might have gotten stale, but Andy Reid got stale over in Philadelphia as well. Needed a move. Mike McCarthy went on record saying he wanted the Jets job specifically because he wanted to work with Sam Darnold. And instead of picking them, they pick Adam Gase, whom was a beneath 500 winning lifetime head coach in the same division.
Peyton Manning, so
I'm sorry.
He coached Peyton Manning as an assistant, so that's why he has a job.
The person I really feel bad for, in all this is Sam Darnold, because Sam Darnold didn't ask for this. He did not ask for this. He did not ask for Adam Gase. This is now his second year in the NFL, and mind you, this game that just passed was his 16th NFL start. He's missed some time, so he doesn't have as much time as Josh Allen does. So. Yes, maybe he's still in that learning curve because he's had some setbacks. But when you are going to your coach and you are saying, which got aired, and of course to the delight of non-Jets fans, I'm seeing ghosts out there, and his confidence is shot, and you're down 33-0. Why are you keeping him out there? Like, I don't understand. And this guy, Adam Gase, is supposed to be some sort of offensive quarterback whisperer. He whispered nothing to He whispered nothing to Sam Darnold. He offered nothing to him. This team.
Maybe he whispered, throw 4 interceptions.
There you go. I don't know, but I just this was a terrible move to begin with, and as a Jets fan, I'm frustrated not just because of the fact that they're playing so poorly, but they're consistently playing poorly, and ownership is just not. It's just inept. The Johnson family are the worst owners, in my opinion. They are the worst owners in all of the National Football League right now. You say what you want about Jerry Jones being a tool. He clearly loves his team, and he will spend money on his team. And he will put his money back into the team and build nice facilities for them and get people to want to come to play for the Dallas Cowboys. The Mara family, regardless of where the Giants may be right now, they won't be there very long. They always bounce back. They always bounce back. They always end up contending. They always end up playing well. They've got Lord and Savior Daniel Jones. So.
No, they don't. No, he is not a fucking Lord and Savior. He got two wins. One was complete fucking luck because a field goal kicker blew it.
I'm not saying this season. The Giants have had up and down seasons here and there, but they've always found their way to get back up and be Big Brother in New York, New Jersey. They were able to do
that because they drafted Eli Manning. I mean.
Well, not more than 3 or 4 years before that, they were in the Super Bowl with Kerry Collins. So
they had an all-world defense. They had Michael Strahan. They had a good secondary.
But still, they do these things. They don't have that now. But what I'm saying is, in comparison,
and they had a good GM.
They have a ownership that may not appear right now to care about the team, but they care about the team. The Mara family are good owners.
They care about the team. They're just not making the right hires. I don't think their GM is the right hire. I mean, Daniel Jones didn't fare much better against the Patriots than Sam Darnold did. I mean, did a little better. Did one less pick. Got a touchdown. Touchdown was a broken play. But
so can Sam Darnold who's clearly he's shown signs of being brilliant, like he was the last week with the Cowboys. But can he recover from this? Like this was bad, and I don't feel like he had the support. I don't feel like he had the support of his head coach when he was going to his head coach looking for that support. That just, I don't know. It just bothers me and it frustrates me because this is the same old Jets, just different cast.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Not
you gotta wait till he's fired again.
I cannot watch them for the rest of the season.
You're gonna watch them next week.
I'm sure I will.
You know why?
Why?
Because they're playing future Hall of Famer Gardner Minshew.
Oh, all right. I will be watching
win
that.
For you, man.
Well, you know what?
Your team loses, it's closer to a good draft pick. Your team wins, well, you want a draft pick. But
yeah, well, whatever. But you know what? It's a way to bring it. It's a way to kind of bring it back to a little humorous thing. I'm trying to earn top fan status on News 10 NBC's Facebook page because I hate News 10 NBC. But I'm commenting on like all of their posts.
Yeah.
In the same style that good old Dolphin fan Felipe Carvalho has, but instead of posting a picture of me saying Dolphins fan here, I'm posting a picture of Gardner Minshew saying Gardner Minshew fan here. And it seems to be catching on because I keep getting likes and laughs and things like that. So, yeah, okay, maybe I will.
I mean, Daniel Jones, by the way, he's got 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He had 3 in that first game, so with no interceptions. Just to kind of put in perspective, he's had 3 touchdowns and 4 picks or 7 picks since then.
Okay,
since his first win. He's
all right.
He's not as good as. It was an overreaction. It was a clear overreaction.
To pick him or to put him in?
No, to everyone all of a sudden start apologizing for roasting the Giants for making that pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean. They beat
Dwayne Haskins was no better when he saw action too. But.
They beat a Bucs team who, Dwayne Haskins is not a good quarterback. I wasn't saying draft Dwayne Haskins before Daniel Jones, but, I mean, he played against a Tampa defense that seems to make everybody's quarterback look really good this season. Mm-hmm. And then he played the Redskins, who, we all know how the Redskins are.
Right.
But he still threw a touchdown and 2 interceptions in that game. It was just that Haskins decided to throw 3 that game and do nothing. But against the Vikings, he was putrid. I mean, Vikings, he had touchdown and a pick, 180 yards for a full game. Patriots, he got housed, touchdown, 3 picks, 160 yards. And then last week against the Cardinals not that great a team, touchdown and a pick, 220, and a loss. So,
all right.
I think that the Giants could be, making moves and they care, but I think honestly, personnel wise, I think the Jets are ahead of them right now. It's just that they have a really bad coach and coaching staff.
And maybe next year they'll have a better.
You got Robbie Anderson, who is a star in the making.
Yes.
You got Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell has been consistently playing, even though the team has been consistently terrible.
The offensive line's just horrible.
It's trash. I mean, every time he gets the ball handed to him, he's got 2 guys in his face. There is no hole to cut to.
Right.
You've got some talent on the defensive side of the ball. I think Darnold's going to be fine. I think Darnold can play the game. I just think that he is in the wrong situation right now with the coaching staff.
Right.
I think that they're further ahead than the Giants are.
Well,
the Giants don't even have a star wide receiver. They got Golden Tate.
Oof. I just got an ESPN alert right now. China is not airing NBA's opening night tonight. CCTV has pulled all NBA broadcasts because of the Rockets GM Daryl Morley's tweet on October 4th.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Fuck China.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
said it.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care. Shaq backed him up today, too. Shaq's got more stones than LeBron does.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
By the way, World Series update. Juan Soto went oppo and a mammoth bomb, so it looks like the home run balls are back.
Oh, are they?
He went opposite field off of Garrett Cole on a down and outside pitch. He went opposite field and hit it on the train tracks.
Jesus.
in Houston. So that's a shot.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Well, back to football, and back to talking to one of the two unbeaten teams. Actually, both of the unbeaten teams now, because both of them, Brandon, upgraded at wide receiver.
Yep.
The Patriots added wide receiver Mohamed Sanu from the Falcons in exchange for a second-round pick, and the Niners added wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders from the Broncos for a third and fourth-round pick. So I ask you, Brandon, do these additions increase the likelihood of a 49ers-Patriots Super Bowl?
I mean, the Patriots were probably already going to be there. I don't buy the 49ers yet. Still, like, that's another one of those teams where it's like, yeah, they're undefeated. They won the games they're supposed to, but they have not faced anybody yet.
You know,
Let's talk about their wins. Buccaneers,
it's a
Bengals.
great segue. Honestly, it's a great segue into the Aaron Rodgers topic that I had on here, because part of the whole 49ers side of things, and last week, I don't know if you remember last week, I had mentioned, why does it feel so different? Why does it seem like it's such a surprise for the 49ers? And people are just kind of like expecting this with, with New England, and are the 49ers the real deal and everything like that? And I believe you made mention of it, about how you felt that the Packers and the Saints, despite having one loss, were better than the undefeated team, the undefeated 49ers. And after last week, when the 49ers traveled to, I almost said RFK, but
it was just called RFK.
When they all right, fine. When they traveled to RFK to play Washington in that hurricane, they really, I mean, they could have gone either way. Elements aside, could have gone either way in that game too. And it got a lot of people saying, that the Saints now, being perfect under Teddy Bridgewater right now, with Drew Brees possibly coming back this Sunday. I mean, that's a great situation for the Saints to be in right now. And the Packers are just playing and getting better and better every week. Yeah. And I honestly feel like that, not saying this as a Packer sympathizer as well. And, you being a Packers fan as well, this. I'm not just saying this because of that, but it has proven, with the play that, and especially with the Eagles play last week against the Dallas Cowboys, that one loss for Green Bay was a bit of a fluke, in my opinion.
It was. They had some really bad luck. I mean, when they were cruising down the field, we didn't have Adams in the red zone on those last few drives because he hurt his toe. We also didn't have Valdez-Scantling either to go down in the red zone. So we were throwing to people that, he doesn't normally throw to. Ball gets popped up in the air. Could have been called for interference. Wasn't. And the interceptions made, that would have been the tie game. But I mean, Rodgers threw for 422 yards. Before Adams got hurt, he had 180 yards receiving. So, the defense had a bit of a hiccup that game. They were leaving a lot of guys open. They had a lot of short fields for the Eagles too. We had some turnovers. Aaron Jones had a fumble, and the pick, obviously the good punt return. Wentz only threw for 160 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a fluky game, but I mean, the teams that we beat, we're kind of battle tested. We've played some tough teams. And we've had some close games, but we've had some not so close games like last week. But when you look at Green Bay's schedule, beating the Bears, in Chicago on opening night, new coach, Rodgers didn't play a snap in the entire preseason, and they still find a way to get a victory. Vikings the following week, pretty complete game. Knocked Cousins around pretty good. Broncos were not very good. They still got a pretty good defense, but not much to say for an offense. Right. Beat them pretty handily. The hiccup there, they were handling Dallas. I mean, the 34-24 score is not indicative of the way a game was going. It was 31-3 at one point.
Right.
The Lions game, caught some breaks, but they still played really well. But didn't break on defense. And then the Raiders, I feel like they just put together a really complete game. I mean, Rodgers was really solid. The rest of the team's really solid. And the Raiders are not a bad team.
No, they definitely prove that they can plplay. They're just kind
watch Gruden's offense. Those guys, they know how to play their strengths, and they're doing the on time plays. They're making the plays. So I wouldn't discount the Raiders, really going anywhere right now, especially with Mahomes being down. But then when you go and look at the 49ers schedule, and everyone's like, oh, they're 6-0, been so dominant. It's like, well, they beat the Buccaneers, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Browns, the Rams without Todd Gurley, and then the Redskins. I mean, not a lot of wins over in that column. I mean, the only team that's got a winning record is the Rams. Like I said, not even a winning record; they're 500.
Right.
So I'm not really sold on how good the 49ers are. Let me see how they go this week when they have the Panthers. They go and they shut down the Panthers this week and dominate the Panthers, then maybe they got something. And then they got a trip to at Arizona. And then they got
and Arizona, believe it or not, is winning.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not
Seahawks, and then they got the Cards again, but then they got the Packers, Ravens, Saints. That stretch of games. That's where we're gonna find out if the 49ers are for real or not.
I completely agree with you there. Just real quickly, I want to mention too, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers and how bad he is doing all of this while still missing his main receiver, Devontae Adams. Again, 25 of 31, 435 yards, 5 touchdowns through the air, 1 rushing touchdown. I mean, perfect quarterback rating too. I forgot to mention that. He was first in
Packers history.
Indeed.
I just want to bring up Jimmy Garoppolo too. Like, he got paid all that money. He got hurt last year. This year was supposed to be the year he was supposed to kind of, put it all together. He's got 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Ooh,
not really that good. 1,300 yards passing for the season.
Jacoby Brissett playing better than him, out of curiosity?
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett's playing really good football right now.
All right.
Brissett is playing really strong football, and it kind of goes in the face of that whole, everyone always says that Brady's a system quarterback. Look what they did with, so and so and so and so. Well, those 2 so and so's went on to other teams and they're starting. Yeah, Brissett's got 1,300 yards for 14 touchdowns and 3 picks. I'd say Brissett's doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
That was supposed to have folded because Andrew Luck decided to call it a career.
Wow.
They're in first place in their division.
They are in first place in their division, and suddenly, all of a sudden, my original pick of the Colts winning that division, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about it now. But, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but I mean, they're really not a bad team.
No, they're not at all.
All right. We're actually not we're flowing pretty good, and we're not gonna do a commercial break this time. So, lucky you guys. We have commercials sandwiched in the beginning and at the end, which, by the way, again, please listen, spare 30 to 60 more seconds of your time once this podcast ends, and just let those commercials flow.
Time to waste in your life. I'm sure you can spare 60 seconds.
I would appreciate that very much. But let's move over to the listen in pick'ems here. I did not do very well last week. I scored 8. Brandon, you were the
champion every week.
There we go. That's right. But making the biggest jump, believe it or not, was from the wrestling show, Sleazy Mike. He had himself a week last week. He scored 12. And now he is at a tie at first with Brandon. I am actually listed as 3rd. So I need a big week myself to get back into this. It's still a long season, and historically I always make a run, so I'm not worried about it. So as per the norm, I'm going to go through the games. We're going to see which one we agree, disagree on, and go from there. So we'll start with Thursday Night Football, Redskins, Vikings. Brandon, who you got?
I've got the Vikings.
I do as well. Kirk Cousins, whether you want to admit it or not, he's turned his game up, and they're winning. So
again, not great teams.
Right.
Again, I want to see how he does against the good teams, because he didn't do so well against the good teams.
That's fair. Seahawks, Falcons.
I got the Seahawks. Falcons are a total mess right now, and who knows what's going on with Matty Ice.
Exactly. I believe we both. I would say comfortably, maybe. Have the Bills over the Eagles.
We do.
Okay. Bears, Chargers.
I got the Bears just because they're at home. I feel like the Chargers just keep finding a way to lose every week.
Mm-hmm. That was the element. I had the Bears. I picked the Bears because I believe their defense is good enough to shake up the Chargers offense. Really, mainly because of the home field advantage of their defense. I have no confidence in the Bears offense at all, especially with Mitchell Trubisky at the helm. The way he's been playing is not very good.
He's not really good right now.
No. Rams, Bengals, goes without saying there.
I mean, it's definitely a Rams country here.
Yeah. Colts, Broncos.
I have the Colts. They're playing really good, and they're at home. The Broncos are kind of a mess on the offensive side of the ball, and they just lost probably their best wide receiver.
Yep, they did. So
Broncos, I think, are waving the white flag.
Yep, I don't disagree there. Giants, Lions.
I got the Lions at home. The Lions were stride for stride with Minnesota last week. They just kind of ran out of gas in the fourth quarter.
The refs gave it to the Vikings. They don't like the Lions. No, I just wanted to be consistent.
The Giants are not playing well. I still think Daniel Jones is kind of a scrub, but
all right, yeah. Lord and Savior. But I picked the Lions as well. Buccaneers, Titans.
I got the Bucks coming off a bye week.
Yeah, I picked the Bucks as well, coming off the bye week, and I think the Bucks defense is. I think it's the defense is going to be the difference there. The Bucks defense against the Titans offense.
Bucks defense is not very good either. I think Jameis will have a good week. You think
Jameis will be the difference?
I think Jameis will have a good week this week.
That's fair. Cardinals, Saints.
I have the Saints at home.
Mm-hmm. Jets, Jaguars.
I have the New York, just kidding, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, me too. Panthers, Niners.
I got the Panthers in this game.
Yeah, I thought you were going to take the Niners. I took the Panthers, but so far we are neck and neck here.
Yep.
Browns, Patriots.
Patriots.
Okay. Texans, Raiders.
Texans, it's going to be a good game, though.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Packers, Chiefs.
I got the Packers. I don't think Matt Moore is going to be the answer over there.
Yeah, no.
And the Chiefs' defense is not very good. Especially the run. I think Aaron Jones is going to get off this week.
Now, if future Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes was playing this game,
be closer.
It would be a very, very close game.
Shootout.
But I would still give the edge to the Packers there. As much as I love my homie, the way Aaron Rodgers has been playing and just how he systematically tore down Oakland last week. I mean, the guy's on another level, and he's buying into whatever Matt LaFleur is selling, and they're gelling together, and it's really fun to watch. So even if they had Patrick Mahomes, I would have taken the Packers at Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Finally, Dolphins Steelers. I'm Brandon. I'm just gonna say that we matched up every single.
What do you got on the tiebreaker? I got 30-24 as a final score.
You have 30-24 as the final score. I didn't actually put a tiebreaker down. So you said you have 30-24.
Yeah.
I'll do
31-24. Over, like
the freaking Price is Right. No, I'll go 20-17 Steelers.
All right,
that's what I'll do. We'll do that. Let me save that. So it's there. Okay, cool. Now it won't be like my college pick 'em where I said
God,
one.
Hilarious. What's the combined score in the national championship game? 1.
I can't lie. I think I did that possibly while under the influence of some of Cypress Hill's favorite medicine. But anyways, that's really all I say. What?
Sawed-off shotguns?
Yeah, there we go. That's what they're calling it nowadays. But that's all I got, Brandon, as far as the sports goes. And we flew through this. Anything you want to add?
Nope. Thank you.
All right. Jerky Boys reference. I love it. We'll go home with that. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Listening Podcast. We appreciate you guys all listening in. Mind the pun to us. And again, remind you, GearNetwork.com, a brand new GearNetwork.com is coming very, very, very soon. We have it built. We have it ready to go. We're just waiting. What's that?
You're all jazzed about it.
I'm very jazzed about it. I'm just waiting for the damn .com domain to go through. I don't know what the holdup is, but I promise you it's going to be great. We're going to have it up and running, and it's going to be magnificent. But in the interim, to support us, again, just listen to every single podcast on the network, whatever podcast you listen to, start to finish, commercials included. We're golden, baby. So with that being said, we will convene again next week, shall we, Brandon?
Sounds good to me, man.
All right, perhaps in person this time. But all right, good day to you, sir.
Good to you as well.
So long, everybody. Good night now, Flava Flav. See us out, please.
Yeah, boy!
Hang on, one more thing before you go. Remember, listen to our sponsors following this podcast, as that does help this podcast and this network out in a way that we appreciate very, very much. So if you could just ride it out 30 to 60 more seconds after this podcast is over, listen to those commercials, it would be doing us a very, very big solid. And again, we thank you.
This has been a presentation of the Gear Radio Network. For more, log on to gearnetwork.com.